Can everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I'll stay where I am for now.
Oh, yeah, you need to rest. Can't stand.
Oh.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
All right. Very good. Okay. Public comment. Do we have any public out here tonight? No public? Okay.
We
We're all
doubled
private.
last time's public. We're doing well.
Oh. Okay, past minutes, last month's minutes. Does anybody have any corrections or changes or anything we need to do to them or explain them? Anybody have any comments, questions? Okay, do we have a motion to accept them?
Sure. I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay,
Second. I'll second.
all right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Fine.
No, okay. Who opposed? Phil, is that you?
No.
No.
Okay.
Tony?
All right, chief's report, we'll get right into it.
Let's get right into it. All
Go
right,
for it.
pandemic, we are creeping towards 200 positive transports. We're at 197. Everything slowed right down, and then boom, this week we got another 4. So just because people are vaccinated doesn't mean the unvaccinated kids should be running around being stupid. That's my advice. Also, the CDC says don't go away. Anyway, nasal swab tests, we've done over 500. We're still doing well. The Board of Ed are still the bane of our existence. They do not follow instructions, but we continue to test them anyway. What else can I tell you? We have done all 27 of the Trumbull Health vaccine clinics. We did 4 homebound distribution runs. We actually wrote the homebound vaccine plan, which I was kind of just a fun anecdote, but I have a good friend who's a doctor in Massachusetts at Bingham Women's. He's the emergency medical director there, and they were trying to put their program together, and they were Googling it, and the first hit came up was Trumbull EMS and Trumbull Health's homebound. So it was kind of cool. He screenshot it. He was like, isn't this your service? So people are using our plan in Massachusetts, which is kind of fun.
Wow.
So yeah, the Trumbull Health team have done a great job. They've delivered over 1,500 vaccines to date so far. We did another, I think about 170 today. We got 2 clinics next week. One big one with Johnson & Johnson, and we are doing another homebound run on Thursday. Staffing, everything's going great. We are clearing new EMTs left, right, and center, which is great. We just onboarded another team of new volunteers that are just beginning their precepting trainees. And the new volunteers have all been really great about picking up shifts. They're all very, very enthusiastic, kind of happy to be here. And additionally, we hired 6 more per diem EMTs and 2 per diem paramedics who just completed orientation. They're each going to do a third riding shift over the next week or so. But looking forward to having them, quite a few very enthusiastic candidates. So we should be good. The winter class is kicking along. I don't know what it is about our winter EMT classes. They always seem to be slightly more challenging than the summer classes, but they are pushing through. And we are doing some CPR training. We're going to be training all of Trumbull High School over the next couple of weeks in certifying their staff members. We are doing community Narcan training at the senior center for all the senior center staff. Lots of clinical education happening at the moment, which is good. What else can I tell you? Special Ops had a fun morning this month. We were already out on a respiratory distress when the Trumbull Fire Companies were called to a very serious structure fire. So we went down there, sent a paramedic supervisor, a BLS unit, and they ended up transporting a firefighter, treating multiple firefighters on scene. Whilst that was happening, we had another 8 calls drop. A big shout out to Doug Bogan at Public Works. He had our 5th ambulance, and I texted him, like, how out of service is it? And he was like, it's already on its way back to you. And we had a couple of our per diems actually more than a couple. I sent out a page, like all hands on deck. We actually ended up having 5 ambulances in service and 3 fly cars. All handling. We did a cardiac arrest during this. It was quite a morning in the pouring rain. Obviously the fire department did the bulk of the work, for the record, at the structure fire. But it was great. It was like really good to see it all come together. We actually had a dedicated standby team with vaccinators up at the health department, which we obviously didn't pull from there. So we really kind of managed to do it. And even poor Kate was just thrown in and is now certified as the PCR tester of Trumbull EMS, because she was the only person left in the building. And we still had appointments, but we managed to follow through on every single commitment. So that was kind of cool, special ops day for us. Wow. So I'd been putting together a bunch of information for the Board of Finance. One of the things I was trying to do was give them a little snapshot of what our world looks like, even though call volume is down. So this was 1 week, and this really was just a random week. I just picked the previous week, just showing them that although like we only did sort of 12 to 18 calls a day, we did stroke alerts, we did cardiac arrests, we did suicides, we did rapid sequence airway management, we did 2 successful STEMIs, 30 fail MVA. I'm just trying to show them what it is we do on top of doing vaccine support clinics, COVID tests, documentation training, and all these things. So it was kind of cool just to see that little snapshot of life, you know, life in our boots, essentially. The reason there's so many ESO documentation classes is because we did just switch over to ESO, which is our new charting software. So we're just a few teething problems right now, but it's going pretty smoothly, I think, all things considered. Huge shout out to our supervisor, Andrew, who has essentially rewritten the entire thing over the last 3 months, working with ESO to make sure that it works with Trumbull setup and obviously the state of Connecticut setup. I think it's going to be great. It integrates really well with the data transfer that we're using with the hospitals. And if you're a science nerd like me, it's a little distracting because you can go in and you can follow your patient all the way through the ED, every single treatment. You can look at their labs. It is very distracting. I really do try not to go in there because I could live in there. It's very cool. So I think it's going to be helpful from a QA standpoint as well, just helping us and our EMS providers kind of see where they went. Call volume is still down, but it's definitely creeping up. Mutual aid is still down, which is good. And that's not because we're getting less calls to mutual aid, but because the supervisors are covering them and the medics are in the fly cars more because of our volunteers, which is awesome. Lots of clinical saves this last month. We did two successful STEMIs. I think Mike Santiana and his crew went all the way to Easton, to like the other side of Easton, in that kind of neverland where I can't work out if we're in Fairfield or not. They still managed to come in with all the benchmark AHA guidelines for calling the alert on a really unstable bradycardic patient having a STEMI. Chris Simoni as well was the last medic, the lone medic standing in town. He arrived for what came in as like altered mental seizure, language barrier. It was a really challenging call, and somewhere in the middle of it there was some pawing at the chest, and he was like, you know what, hold up, let's just throw a quick 12 lead. Managed to catch a STEMI and get that in as well. Both those patients have been discharged already with solid prognosis. So they did really well. We had a couple of STEMIs, a really successful RSI on an unfortunate suicide attempt from an elderly patient who is now, you know, making a full recovery and hopefully getting the mental health that they need. So overall, very, very successful from a clinical standpoint. That's it. Diana's plans, I promised it was going to be short.
It's an awful lot in a little bit of time.
You're not kidding. Question for you.
Yeah.
How many EMTs and how many paramedics do we have right now?
So we have approximately 15 paramedics, give or take, I think. And then we have, I'd say, 25 to 30 paid per diem EMTs. And then about 50 to 60 volunteer EMT. Wow. Yeah. And currently, I feel like on average, like when I look at the roster, we're around 100 to 110, give or take.
Holy cow.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's
We're a
why
big
you're in the
department.
You are a big department.
We're a
That's
whole
why you're
real
in the
department.
Huh.
You
Now,
got
did you
5
get-
ambulances on the road, so.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
we genuinely, I mean, Kate and I, like, at first, so initially I was like, I was like, special ops page, and I hit send, and I was like, wait, we've run out of ambulances. We literally didn't have enough ambulances. That's when Doug got us the other one back, but legitimately we could have put up another. We literally we had too many people and not enough.
That's great.
Which is very cool. Kate's even taken a call this last week.
All right,
Yeah.
Kate.
Right back into it. She jumped on a call with Masim. So we're taking care of business for sure.
That's great. And did you guys get the new tablets, the 8 tablets?
They have been ordered. So we should be, the PO went through, and the guys at IT have expedited it for us as well, because sometimes the POs they go via snail mail into oblivion. So they reached out to their guys. So hopefully very soon we'll be getting
Sounds good.
yeah.
All right, anybody else have any questions? All right, do you want to get into the pandemic COVID-19 report?
Covered it in the Chiefs report.
Excellent.
What?
I covered it in the Chiefs report.
Perfect. I like that. Okay, how about technology software update?
Technology software update. iPads, not iPads, are coming. Tablets, tough books, got it. And ESO is live, and so far so good. Give or take 1 or 2 hiccups. I feel like there was a NEMSIS coding error with New York NEMSIS code that caused a little bit of havoc, but I think we fixed it. So that's going really, really well. I'll keep you posted. That's it. That's my technology update.
And what's the FY 2022 budget discussion?
Ugh.
Okay, let's skip that one. Let's table it.
It's canceled. I'm canceling it. No, I just thought I'd give you a quick update. I did go to the Board of Finance, made my case. They asked me to go into executive session, even though legally you didn't have to go into executive session. But we went in anyway, so I couldn't make any of my public pleas for support. So ultimately, they asked for some more information, which I provided them in detail. It's an election year. What can I say? I mean, that's pretty much the impression I got. There's 2 parties in that Board of Finance, and there was one party that said okay, and the other party was saying we're going to stick with our team's suggested advice. So I've really pushed really hard. I've fought very hard. I've sent a bunch of information. I know at least 3 or 4 people have written letters to the Board of Finance in support of our original budget. I think it would be great if you guys want to send a letter. That would go right well too. My proposed budget without any of the First Selectman's cut is over $100,000 less than this year's budget.
Wow.
And we've totally upgraded our department, totally upgraded our software, totally made a bunch of changes. So I just feels it does not make sense to me why we need to make any cuts at all, frankly. We're 10% below what we were this year.
What was the reasoning for going to the executive session?
Because it was discussing contracts and unions, which it wasn't. It was just discussing the per diem salary cap, which is not a contract or a union. I just didn't feel it should go into executive session because it's publicly stated. So I'm answering to it already when my staff are coming to me and saying, am I not getting my raise that's in the policy handbook that you gave me when you hired me? So, you know, I felt like it was owed public discussion. But they did ask Human Resources, who did say we didn't have to go, but he would recommend it went into executive session because it's with regards to people's pay. So in we went.
Hey, Joel,
Yep.
do you think you could maybe come up with some short blurb that we can send to the
Sure. I was
website?
just going to say we should send something to them without a doubt from all of us.
Yeah.
I can email it to everybody, and as long as everyone signs off on it, says it's fine, we'll send it.
Well, does
Wow.
that constitute a meeting though, when they do that with everybody on an email?
Like, yeah, I remember last time we got in.
Well, why don't we leave this up to you and I, Diane?
Okay,
And then this way we don't need to do a meeting. I'm sure everyone trusts us and
right. The only problem is we have to do it by tomorrow afternoon by 5,
No
well, that could be
pressure.
interesting.
because Lee is gonna talk to them on Thursday. They're gonna vote on Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think I'm talking. I think they're just voting.
They're just voting. Okay, well then maybe somehow or another.
Wait, Bill has something for us.
That meeting just got canceled.
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but we got a cancellation notice for it.
Huh.
Oh, for
Guess
the
about a
Board of
couple extra
Finance?
days.
Yeah, well, I still think we should get it done, you know,
Oh, yeah.
sooner than later. Maybe Lee,
Yeah.
if you could send me a little outline of what we're gonna, you know, really push forward.
Sure.
Well,
Or
what's
the letter that you already wrote.
Would you,
Yeah,
exactly. Which version would you like?
you and I work
le-
well together. The
Yeah.
best
The less
version.
angry one.
Yeah, the less angry one. I know.
That's really what I end up doing. I just take
told
out
you
the
I'm
curse
limping to
words.
the vacation finish line, and I have to get there because all of like the less angry is on the other side of that 5-day vacation. I can feel it, you know. I'm like, oh, I've got to go find my Zen. My Zen went away after my last budget hearing.
Well, we can work on it, and I'll take out the curse words.
Yeah, if you could. And then, like, you know, just cut it down to like a paragraph instead of 17.
Yeah,
It's very
I have a
helpful.
feeling that we're gonna have to make up for this next year for sure. Once we have, you know, we know who's going where in November.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but there's gonna be a lot of O's to us. They're gonna owe us.
Yeah.
Now, you were saying, Lee, that it's only $34,000 to cover this? To
Yep.
cover them for the
Yep.
year, the rest of the year?
Yeah, it's probably less than that because technically they're only eligible for it in either September or October. And not all of them are eligible for it because I built in a whole bunch of performance improvement standards and minimum hour requirements to protect the town. So
Sure.
not everyone is even eligible to get the raise, but I budgeted as if everybody was getting the raise and everybody gets it on July 1st. So really it's less, but
It's not a big amount in the whole picture.
it's
No,
not a big
no.
amount. It's not, and you know what? It's just these guys work too hard and they deserve some semblance of job security. You know,
Yeah, you need a
the
little
amount
more
that
than
we're
a pat
paying
on the
them per
back
hour,
sometimes.
that we're already below industry standard, but we're creeping up to where we're supposed to be, which is good. And there's absolutely something to be said for people who are willing to take a little less to be here in Trumbull, because there's
Sure.
other benefits, which is great. But ultimately, you know what? When they're standing on the side of that fire or on the side of the 95, risking their life, having just finished dealing with a traumatic 33-year-old that they know is a family friend who they couldn't save, and they're getting paid $19 an hour, but the library is currently hiring at $17 an hour, and the person who opens the door at town hall is making $18 an hour. It's
It
just a
doesn't
slap
make
in the
sense.
face to not give them this one rise. It's literally one step, and then they stay there and get cost of living for indefinitely until we fight for them again in a few years' time. It just,
Nobody knows what we do. That's the problem. So
it's just not acceptable. And they're public safety members for this town. Like, they never don't show up. We never ever don't show up.
you can't.
So they can't have to worry every year that they're not going to be funded to provide the service that we're not able to not provide. We have to provide it legally. As in the state of Connecticut, we have to provide this service. So, you know, I've been very transparent. I mean, it's in the policy that was approved by the town of Trumbull, the wage scale. It wasn't like I surprised them with this wage scale and said, oh, actually, I
Right.
said they could do it for this year, but now we need an increase. It was always there. It was very transparent. And I
It's
just
not
think
like we're the Board of Ed.
$34,000, it's undermining the leadership of, it's undermining my leadership. It's undermining, you know, their faith in the town. I think it's a really poor move. It's disappointing, and they're going to send them running into the waiting arms of a collective bargaining agreement. And believe you me, the CBA is not going to have performance improvement and standards and minimum requirements. They're going to protect the lowest denominator of the group.
Right. All right, we'll put a letter together for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like, you know what, as long as we try everything, I mean, what will be, will be.
Can only do what we
And then
can
we'll
do.
make it work, and we'll, you know, one foot keep on swimming, but at least, you know, I just want to be able to look my team in the eye and know that, have them know I've really tried.
Right. For sure.
So.
Okay, do we have anything under new business?
We do not.
Wow.
We do
I
not.
just want to quickly thank Kate. I had asked her a little while ago about getting CPR certified. Shame on me, it's something I've never done. And she sent me a link, and I successfully passed my online part
Yeah,
of that course. And I just have
Yay.
to, so thank you, Kate. And I just have to go to my hands-on skills session and then finish the course. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Something I should have done a long time ago.
Just shoot me an email whenever you want to come down and we'll get you signed off and everything.
All right.
Nice
Thanks again.
That's awesome.
Everybody
Thank
down
you.
there is doing an
That's
amazing
awesome.
job.
Yeah.
It's just Lee, I mean, it's just, I don't understand how you do this, you know, over and over and as well as you do,
Yeah.
you know, but we gotta keep it from, you know, we don't want you burning out or your head exploding or anything like that.
Me? No. No, listen, I have a great team. I really do. I've got a great team. I've got a lot of support from you guys, and I'm limping to my vacation finish line, and I'm coming back not exploding and not
Perfect.
cranky, I promise.
She also has a lot of Red Bull.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There's that.
There's that. All right, anything else that anybody wants to discuss? Hi, Greg.
Oh, happy Physicians Day, Greg. It's National Doctors Are the Best Day, everybody.
Is it really?
All
It really
right.
is. I'm a little late to the game with my social media, but I just recognized this.
Thank you very much. The best thing that people can do to appreciate doctors is get vaccinated. I've been saying that all day. So hopefully everybody's gotten something.
You
I
bet.
know.
We are a team vaccine here at Trumbull EMS. That seems to be all we're doing.
There you
So-
go.
The world, because I want to tell you, Surge 1 was hell, and you've all lived it, man. And yeah, when I was in the hospital for 3 months, never want to see that again. So we'll see.
That's true.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's appreciate all of you, and it's an honor to serve. So thank you.
You.
Great job. Okay, next month is April. Everybody all set for April? Is there anything we need to start doing for any budgeting or anything coming up that we need to start thinking about?
EMS week is coming up.
Oh, good. When is that?
It's May 16th, 18th, somewhere along there. We're planning an open house to kick it off because I really believe we'll be able to do a smart, sensible open house outdoors, you know, small, limited numbers and, you know, lots of vaccinated people by then. And I would love to do an EMS week picnic. And if not during EMS week, delay it a month and do it like just before the end of the fiscal year. You know, we have our staff appreciation dinner budget that we haven't spent. And let me tell you, we might not be appreciated with our pay scale, but we will be spending every last penny of that dinner.
Here, here.
Absolutely.
We're going to have an amazing picnic and invite people's families, maybe a little bit memorial style for Roger, because Roger loved EMS week probably more than any of us. So I'm going to be starting to think about that, you know, EMS week gifts, EMS week picnic, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, I have lots of things that I want to spend my money on, but pandemic and an election year.
Behind you 1,000%. So
Yeah. I think that's about it for now that I can think of.
Okay.
Is town hall open that we can have our next month meeting in person?
They're never letting us in the Nichols room again.
According to the phone call that we got last couple weeks ago from Vicky, town hall was supposed to be reopening.
not for us though.
I'm not sure for that. I'm not sure. I'll keep you posted, just so that you all know, April 11th, I'm going to be away. I know the CDC frowns on it, but you know, my mental health does not. And also, so is Megan and Lucy. So we've canceled community health for that week in Trumbull. So just letting you know, just if you need anything community health wise, it's going to have to wait.
Good time to get out of town.
Yeah,
The rest of us.
exactly.
Good for you. You go and enjoy.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's great. You deserve
Well,
it.
thank you guys. I should give a shout out to Katie from Trumbull Community Television. I feel like it's all I've done is watch her stuff. She streams everything that's important. Somehow she seems to ping my phone. I know she's not doing it deliberately to me, but it'll constantly telling me that something important is on Facebook Live. So they've done a really good job, and they work a gazillion hours at night along with Bill. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Katie and Bill and Kate for
Yeah.
doing our minutes. And someone want to adjourn the meeting or?
7:28, less
Oh,
than half an hour.
That's a
My
record.
best one yet.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much. Be safe.
I'll be in
Have a good
touch. Lee.
holiday, everybody, no matter what it is. And,
Absolutely.